Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with another video, and of course it is the very first day of the month, so you guys already know what's going to happen. This is typically when I like to get up my monthly budget for the new month, and of course I am going to be setting that up for May. If you guys are not new to my channel, then you guys know that I love to use the Deluxe Monthly Planner by Erin Condren as my budget planner. I've been doing so for almost 2 years, and I've just loved the flexibility that you get and how much you get in the planner. So you not only get a monthly view where I personally track all of my expenses, as well as you do get 5 different note pages, where I'm going to be setting my all of my spreads up. Typically in the beginning of the month, I like to set up my budget spread as well as my variable income sinking fund spreads. I do like to break those up in 3 different videos, but as I have mentioned last month as well as for this month, I'm not going to be having cash envelopes for all of my categories. I just don't see a point to me having cash envelopes when I am most likely going to be buying things online. If you guys don't know, I do live in California, and we do still have a stay-at-home order, which is still probably going to go into effect up until the 15th of this month, if not longer. It just honestly depends, and things are just very uncertain, so I just would rather not use cash for the time being, because most of the purchases that I've been making in the month of April were online, if not through apps. So I don't necessarily need cash at the moment, although I am like the biggest, I think, advocate for cash envelopes in my mind, because I think they are so helpful with not only keeping you accountable, and I'm just gonna set up my spread here, but also to prevent you from overspending money on certain categories. Like, I know a lot of us have trouble with overspending, and I think the cash envelope system does really help with keeping you on track and not going over your budget. So I am going to be missing my cash envelopes. As you guys know, I love to make myself some every single month, but I know that this is a good decision for me. I know that there's also other ways that I can go about it. I could definitely still use cash, and I know a lot of people are still using cash, which is completely fine. But for me and my situation and the state that I live in, it just doesn't make sense at the moment. I will, of course, bring back my cash envelopes out whenever I feel more safe and I feel like it'll make more sense to me. But as of now, that's just not going to happen, which is fine. So I did just go ahead and set up the first part of my budget spread, which is my income little header. I did went ahead and use my floral washi along with the corresponding budget kit for that. So if you guys are interested in picking these stickers up, my shop is actually currently on vacation. I'm trying to catch up with outstanding orders, and both me and my sister are doing a pretty good job at that. So I do expect my shop to open back up next week. If you guys would like to see shop updates or any other things, go ahead and follow me on my Instagram at Romina Plants. I typically like to give you guys a heads up as to when things are restocking or whenever I open my shop. So I have my little mock budget spread in my softbound notebook here. If you guys would like to see how it is that I go about it before creating, my budget spread here, which definitely takes a lot of preparation, I will leave a link to a video that I made all about creating a mock budget. So let's go ahead and get started. My income sources are, of course, as you guys know, Romina Rosa. If you guys don't know, I am a 24-year-old, what can I call myself, Etsy shop owner / content creator, and I did quit my part-time job last year, I believe in September, and I have been doing both my shop and YouTube full-time since then. It has definitely been a roller coaster, but I absolutely love it, and I love that I have so much support from all of my subscribers and the people who watch my videos. So the way that I like to do my budget is I like to create a budget once a month, and the reason I'm able to do this is because I've created this perfect budget where my shop pays me once a month, and that's kind of how I go about budgeting that money in this spread. So I do also like to have weekly check-ins as to see how it is that I'm going with my categories, which also helps so much. If you guys have watched my weekly check-in videos, you guys know that I like to be really detailed as to how I'm spending my money. So that is my first source of income, and as you guys know, I don't disclose that, so those numbers are going to stay blank for the most part for now. Next income source would be my variable income. And I will be setting up the spread. Usually I would set that spread up when I stuff my cash envelopes, but like I mentioned, I'm not going to be doing that for this month. I still am, I think, going to bring that video to you guys, just like setting up my monthly view and my variable income source, because I have quite a bit to share with you guys, as well as I might end up setting up my whole spreads in the Erin Condren Petite Planner as well, because I made a video about that last month and a lot of you guys seem to really enjoy it, so I might just end up doing that. So, okay, after my income, I'm going to put my expenses. I do like to separate them between variable and fixed. This really just gives me a lot more space than I would have if I just had all of my bills all in one column. Because if you guys don't know, I am using the 7x9 sized planner. So, okay, now that I have these headers all down, let's go ahead and start with what would be my cash envelope categories if I had them. The first one I have is groceries. And for groceries, I have seen that the amount that I've been putting towards that the past month has been working out. I actually do have some of that money left, so I think I am going to be sticking with that for the most part. I am trying to limit the times that I go to the grocery store as of now to around every 2 weeks, and that has been working out really well, so I am just going to keep it at $225. The next category I have is eating out, and for eating out I am just going to increase this by $5. So instead of it being $125, it's going to be $130. Next, for gas, guys, if you guys would have seen my weekly check-in, my last weekly check-in video, you guys know that I haven't pumped gas in almost 2 months, which is so crazy. So I didn't even use the budgeted amount I had for gas for last month, so I am going to decrease what I even budget. Typically in the past my car has gotten full with $40, so I thought since gas prices have decreased that I would just budget $30, and I'm sure that that will fill up my tank whenever it is that I pump gas, which I don't think it'll be anytime soon, but we'll see. Aside from that, I have allowance. And for allowance, I've been doing $100 for quite some time, and that seems to have been working out. So I am just going to budget that for this month as well. Next, we have beauty, which I have decreased ever since, of course, I can get my nails done. In the past, I've loved to get my nails done, not only for these kinds of videos where it is that I show my nails, but also because it's a form of self-care for me. Ever since all nail salons have been closed here in California, I've definitely been trying to find different forms of self-care since I don't have that one available to me anymore. So I have decreased this amount. I believe last month I budgeted $100 for this, but I think I am going to decrease it a little bit more. So for this month, I'm going to only budget $80. And that's going to be for the most part for hair dye that I'll go ahead and buy, as well as I've been buying these press-on nails, which of course are not like the real thing whatsoever, but I think they do the job. So that's kind of why I still have money in there. After that, I also have a coffee category, which I will be decreasing. I've been saying this so many times, but I want to make an update as to how my interpreting courses are going. If you guys don't know, I do have this coffee category here, and in the past I've used it as an incentive for me to go out of my house, go to cafes and study, just because you guys can only imagine how hard it is to focus here at home where I'm at all time because I work from home. So as of now, things have kind of changed, and my written exam test date has been rescheduled twice now, so I am going to decrease this amount, although I am still going to be studying. So instead of it being $40 like I did last month, I'm going to bring it down to $30. So that is for coffee. Next up, I have a newer category that I actually added. I added it in March. Yes, I added it in March, which is my rent category. Last month I budgeted $370, but I decided to increase that by $30 so that it's an even $400. So this is the money that I'm going to be giving my parents to contribute with the rent, as well as other groceries that they're buying. Specifically with the groceries, this is the way that I contribute to that, because as you guys know or may not know, I do still live at home with my parents, and for the most part during this whole quarantine, it's definitely been very much about them buying all of the necessary groceries that we need to make meals, which is really nice that I don't have to necessarily worry about having meals for myself every single day, because there is always something to eat at home. So that's the reason why I am increasing that, just to help out a little bit more, especially because right now my mom's actually not working. Next up, I have my phone bill. And for phone bill, I believe the past couple of months it's been around the same exact amount. So I am just going to keep budgeting 110. If it keeps being the same amount, I might just end up moving it towards fixed expenses, which are expenses that don't change in amounts in that month. Next category that I am adding for this month, of course, because it is the month of May, is Mother's Day. I debated whether I wanted to make this a sinking fund, but I think that if I wanted to make it a sinking fund, I should have probably started it way before the actual month. So I just decided to make it a variable expense. For this, I'm going to budget $100. I don't foresee me spending all that money, but I'd rather just be safe than sorry. And I do want to still do something for my mom for Mother's Day. So that is for that. And then the last thing for variable expenses would be a category for unbudgeted. I don't budget anything for this, but I do like to have this as a placeholder so that if anything comes up that is unbudgeted, I have a space to put in the actual column. So those are all of my variable expenses. I don't think I'm going to have anything else. I do have my sister's birthday this month. Well, let me just skip a line. But as you guys know, I have a birthday sinking fund, so I will just be stuffing that instead of creating that category in my budget. So that's for that side. Next up, for fixed expenses, I first have car payment. And all of my fixed expenses are, like I mentioned, expenses that don't change within the month. I always pay these amounts. So for car payment, that is $348 with 6 cents. Next, I have a subscriptions category, which is only for both iCloud storage as well as my part of the Spotify family plan that I'm in with my sister. So that is a total of $6.99. Then I have my student loans payment, and that's always the same, which is $130.77. Next, I have tithe, and for that I budget $150. Now, the good thing about this month and ongoing months is that I'm not going to be paying for tuition anymore. I'm currently in my last class, which is a 10-week period, and I don't have to pay for tuition for 10 weeks, which is good. So that's not going to be in there this month. Next, I have my sinking funds, which I will have a video for that. I am still going to stuff my sinking funds because those are funds that I keep in a little coupon folder, so that stays with me. And for that, I am budgeting $988. And you guys will see what that has in tomorrow's video. And then last but not least, as a fixed expense, I have the extra debt payment category, which is where I put any extra amount of money that I'm going to be putting towards debt, which as of now, I am focusing on paying my student loans. If you guys don't watch my debt snowball videos, I thought I would mention that. So I am just going to put my little total section. I'm not going to add this up because I do like to put the extra debt payment amount at the end of the month, because that's typically when I know how much I'm able to put towards debt. So I am just going to lay down the last couple of stickers that I like to have in my budget spread. And I do just use the washi to decorate, which I love. I love decorating my planner. So now let's make my total section, and in here I will put my expected and actual income at the end of the month, and then my budgeted and actual amounts for my variable and fixed expenses. So let's see, I'm going to put income, and then variable expenses. and fixed expenses. And then from here, I'll go ahead and subtract all of my expenses from my income. And then I do like to include this squared pattern box so that whatever it is that you get after subtracting your expenses from your income, you can go ahead and put it here. And this box, I sometimes like to break this up between the amount that I'm going to be putting towards debt and the amount that I'll be putting towards savings. And then aside from that, I will go ahead and just add the deco that comes in this kit, just for some extra decoration. We have a little cash envelope, which I'm so sad I'm not using cash envelopes, but I know that I'll eventually go back to them once we all do our part. So, okay, so I think the last thing that I have left over to do in this spread would be to add all of my variable expenses, since I do have an amount for all of those. So let's go ahead and add them. 225 plus 130 plus 30 plus 100 plus 80 plus 30 plus 400 plus 110 and 100. That is a total of $1,205 that I am budgeting for my variable expenses. And if you guys want, I'll go ahead and just add what I have here as my fixed expenses, just so you guys can get an idea of my total amount prior to me making an extra debt payment. So in total, I am working with $2,828 with 82 cents for expenses. So with that being said, that is pretty much all that I have for this video. I really love how it came out. I actually really like this peachy pink color for the month of May. I think it goes really well with the monthly color. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this a huge thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. Let me know how it is that you guys are adjusting your budget this month in the comments down below. I really am interested in seeing how everybody is doing with their budget, and hopefully I will get to see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.